With Michael Lennard, material handling industry consultant for Rockwell Automation. And we're talking about advanced solutions for logistics, warehouse, and fulfillment centers. So first, Michael, let's start with advanced automation and information solutions. How do Rockwell's advanced automation and information solutions keep operations moving amid the skills shortage?
I think in this industry, we've had a perfect storm of issues that are all affecting warehouses and distribution centers' ability to operate. If you go back even before COVID, there was a lot of changing customer expectations. People wanted more items, they wanted it in 2-day shipping, they expected free shipping. And then COVID hits, and all of us are at home, buying a lot more items, but not just a lot more items, a lot of different items. So things that we didn't buy before, we're now buying online. And so that's causing not only we're having to deal with higher volumes itself, but a wider range of items, things that our systems weren't designed to be able to handle, and it requires more manual labor. Well, that's really hard in an environment where we don't have the ability to hire and the ability to bring people into our operations. And so what that's pushing a lot of warehouse operators and sortation operators to look at is how do we start to leverage more automation and productivity to be able to meet that customer requirements while still being able to hit the bottom line and improve our margins. And so that's where, as Rockwell Automation, we have been supporting customers on that journey, whether it's through productivity solutions and technology, whether it's through looking at their entire workforce enablement and getting the most out of their people, and whether it's both in the design and the operation of that equipment. So not only how do you get technology into your facility, but now how do you run it, how do you maintain it, and how do you maintain it across your entire network? Those are the conversations that we're having with our customers and that we're supporting at both the integrator and the operator level.
So when system design and control systems come together for the first time, there's always that risk, that something will not operate as it's expected. So tell us how something like Emulate 3D, which is Rockwell's simulation and emulation software, please tell me how it helps optimize performance.
Yeah, there's always a risk when you're putting in new equipment, of both in terms of the commissioning, do you have the right code, is it tested, is it validated, and then the operation of it itself. So commissioning delays can mean long times that you're spent on the floor testing out equipment, and in an environment where we're already seeing delays from everything from material to supply chain to labor challenges. That just complicates the production schedule even more. So using a digital tool to be able to validate and do virtual commissioning ahead of time, you can start to streamline that process and be able to reduce your project risk and get projects up faster with these digital tools like Emulate 3D. But there's also that design side. So how do you know how equipment is going to work inside your facility?
Right.
If you're looking at putting in a robot or a mobile robot, there's a lot of tools to maybe see how the motion of that product is going to work, how that robot arm is going to do, what that maybe throughput's going to be. But that doesn't tell you anything about what the effect of that is going to be downstream. How does that integrate with your conveyors? How does that pull together into a single system? And that's what Emulate 3D can really provide, is that full end-to-end view across conveyors, mobile robots, fixed arm robots, to be able to understand the impact that those changes in an environment can have and be able to test it, validate it, and prove it out in this virtual environment before you start cutting steel and installing it on site.
So to improve agility, more companies are exploring autonomous mobile robots, independent cart technology, and other smart solutions. So how does, for Rockwell, independent cart technology help companies modernize their approach to order fulfillment?
Sure. So we talked a little bit earlier about how this change in the material, the breadth of the material that people are having to handle, it's constantly changing from the customer expectation side, and that impacts the equipment that we have.
Right.
And so operators are looking for ways to be able to have more flexibility in what they are bringing and be able to still meet that high performance and high solutions. So smart conveyance solutions like independent mobile robots and industrial mobile robots and independent cart technology, these solutions can bring high performance, high flexibility into an environment. Our independent cart technology has been able to prove demonstrated value in looking at new paradigms of how systems can be designed into high performance and high productivity solutions to be able to meet that flexibility needed to handle today's and tomorrow's requirements.
So when it comes to something like risk mitigation, what are some things companies should consider?
Sure. So there's risk mitigation can mean several different things. There's the project and commissioning risk. There's the operations risk in being able to run the facility. But one that has a lot of focus right now, especially everything going on in Eastern Europe, is cybersecurity risk. And so it's very important for operators to understand what is the security risk, how do you work with a partner that you trust to be able to understand, to mitigate, and to respond to an issue when you have it, and building that in at the base level. There's a lot of information that we're getting, a lot of industrial IoT projects to be able to pull data out of our equipment, out of the facilities, but if you don't look at the security up front, that could all be potential risks to your operation. And so it's important from the beginning to have those conversations and talk about how you can leverage tools and ways to improve your cybersecurity across the board.
Thank you, Michael.